King Bishop's Gambits, and one of the things about the King's Bishop Gambit is that what we're trying to do is not only keep the F file open, but we're also going to try to keep the D1 to H5 diagonal available. And this game is a perfect example of these particular principles. It's a short game. I'm going to show you how it differs from the standard King's Gambit, where you have a knight interfering with these diagonals and things on F3. So without further ado, we'll start our engine and show you how confused people get here. Okay. Interestingly, the computer likes the check and gives black an advantage at this point. This person plays a very standard type of move, which is completely uncalled for against this opening. And the reason is that we don't have a knight on F3 ready to hop out there. On the other hand, he's intending to protect his F4 pawn at all costs. So we've seen the strategy before. It doesn't work very well. I'm not playing the recommended move, but this is a move I usually play anyway. It's not quite as sharp as moving D4, but gives me a good opportunity. So usually the best formation for black in this case is to try to get D5 in somehow with C6, and failing that, at least move D6. So he protects, and now it's an even game. We just move H4, we have equality, that's what I do. And mostly what we're dealing with is very, very fine ideas that result in very quick losses. And interestingly, B5 is a move the computer likes for black at this point. That's something humans usually don't think about. So I'm saying queen to E7, D5 is the recommended shot. He makes a standard human move, fianchettoing the bishop that is meant to go there and covering that rook. And of course now we just capture. And interestingly, the computer says there's no capturing back. If you capture back, is the game lost? Well, we're about to see. And people almost always capture back. Very difficult here to play just knight to C6. And as you see, capturing back equals immediate loss, down 4. But we have to show you how this happens. Okay, these are all the standard moves. Queen to F6 to cover the bishop and prevent mate on F7 is mandatory, and the knight to D5 is the key move. Now, as you see, this game was analyzed by Stockfish 8. One of the first moves that Stockfish 8 has recommended is knight to F3. This particular machine doesn't say knight to F3. Now, it just so happens I also have Stockfish 8 on here. So we're going to start engine 2. This Stockfish 8 also says knight to D5 instead of knight to F3. So it's kind of a question as to why. Why knight to F3? Well, why is knight to F3 so strong? You know, I have some. I'm going to pause this engine now. It's taxing my CPU. We don't know. Okay, we're just going to go ahead with the move that was made in the game, knight to D5. It's the right move as far as I'm concerned. Now it says he has to give up the exchange by playing queen to H6 or G7, allowing the capture on C7. So he does not do this, and this is instructive. So he plays an aggressive move, and this has been played before, and this move can have a lot of dire effects on white if white doesn't play well. So, you know, he's attacking lots of stuff all at once, a knight, a bishop. So now the right move is knight to E2, chasing the queen, allowing him to just have the bishop. And once again it says he has to move back to G7. So you're going to see what happens when he takes the bishop, which is what he did. He's now going to go down about 10. Now the only way to protect it pretty much is to move his king. Knight has a nice spot on F6. Now it says he needs to get desperate and move F3. He doesn't, or knight to C6. He doesn't. Yeah, he does. He moves knight to C6, excuse me. So we check. He moves Now it's saying b3. Look at that. Wow, that's a killer move. Opens that diagonal on a3 back to the king. Or just a knight check. You know, all those. As I recall, I didn't do any of these. I took there. And it says queen to e6 is now mandatory. I believe he moved his king. And yeah, he moved his king to d6. And I'll let you folks figure out what happens after that. But seems to me it's a main two. So we just wanted to show you the quick traps that were involved in this kind of opening, and keeping that diagonal open to h5.